Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to another episode of Football Moshla podcast. We are your host. I am Kazi Adil,
And
and I have with me
I'm Fardan Ahmed,
the scientist.
so called.
Professor থেকে সায়েন্টিস্টে চলে গেছে।
I'm not professor. Professor অন্য একজন।
প্রফেসর আছে আমাদের মধ্যে একজন, and আমরা তাকে পরে হয়তো বা চেষ্টা করবো আনার জন্য।
Definitely.
But we have a scientist. So we have the scientist Fardan. So Fardan, basically আজকের এপিসোড গুলাটা মশলা সেগমেন্ট আছে অনেক। মশলা সেগমেন্ট ফার্স্ট হচ্ছে চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ রাউন্ড আপ, সেটার মধ্যে ম্যানচেস্টার সিটি আছে, তার মধ্যে একটা বিখ্যাত ব্যক্তি যার নাম হচ্ছে জোসেফ গোয়ার্ডিওলা, ইন শর্ট পেপ গদিওলা। গদিটা তার গদি এখন বোধহয় সিংহাসন থেকে নেমে যাচ্ছে, সো তার একটা মেল্টডাউনের ব্যাপার আছে। তারপরে স্পোর্টিং আর আর্সেনালের গেমটা নিয়ে একটু কথা বলা আছে, চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ। সো বেসিক্যালি স্পোর্টিং got their butt whooped by Arsenal. Was that a Ruben Amorim thing, or was that just the team was not good enough? Arsenal were way better. That and there's a team called Real Madrid. No, I mean British accent ability. Real Madrid. I have never understood why it's called Real instead of Real or Real. Real Madrid. British commentator বলে Real.
Raw, yeah.
Real মানে ইটা সাইলেন্ট থাকে। Real Madrid. So Real Madrid got their butt whooped by Liverpool. আর যদি জেমি ক্যারাগারের মতো করে বলতে চাই, লিভারপুল।
Liverpool.
So লিভারপুল মানে পুল একটা ধাক্কা দিতে হবে, পুল আছে একটা। So চ্যাম্পিয়ন্স লিগ রাউন্ড আপ, but definitely this is an FPL Moshla podcast type. So
Definitely.
game week 13, we're going to wrap it up with which players to buy and which players to sell, which players to hold on to, who to make captains towards the end of the show. FPL game week 13.
You got
So
it.
should we start with the first segment?
Let's do this.
Champions League. Joseph Guardiola. Pep. Another Pep. We saw the pictures. I mean, we don't want to show it here, but if you look around, you saw that whole thing about like nails. He has scratches all over his head and then over here. So, and then he came to the press conference and he said that, oh, this is basically, I wanted to harm myself like this, like, so I'm going to show you this. I have nails. I didn't cut it to show you that nails.
Focus টা হয়নি।
Focus হচ্ছে না না?
But it's okay. It's
Camera,
okay. I don't think.
camera, focus, nails দেখাচ্ছি। হইছে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ একটু দেখা গেছে,
হয়েছিল না?
একটু তোমার চোখের কাছে দেখা গেছে।
একদম। এই যে nails. আর এই nails যে আমি কতখানি ডিপে কাটবো যে আমার এখানে দাগ পড়বে। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, একটা কাটলাম। আর বাকি আমি কি মানে স্ক্র্যাচ করতে থাকবো? Okay, what I'm trying to say is basically this is I don't know why the media is not digging deep into this. This was not, I don't think it was himself harming himself, which is he came up with a statement that this is something that I don't take lightly. Mental health issues has to be like I take mental health issues seriously, blah blah blah. In other words, everything that they do, they have to be very, very particular with the mental health aspect of a lot of the environment, the people. But I don't think, let's not talk about the mental health aspect. I'm just going to say this very straight up. This was an altercation with a player or players. খামচা খামচি যেটা বাংলাতে বলে খামচা খামচি হয়েছে, মারামারি হয়েছে। ওকে হয়তো বা কেউ drag out, মানে some player attacked him and he attacked the player after their 3-3 draw with Feyenoord, because they were leading 3-0 up until the 75th minute, and after the 75th minute they had a meltdown. So it's 3-3. And then I think it was Jack Grealish. কি মনে করো? Hair versus bald.
From a so-called top flight team, এটা completely unexpected. আর তাছাড়া ও যে পরে আবার প্রেস কনফারেন্সে আসছে, এটা লাইক এই অবস্থায় I don't know where was the PR team. PR team জীবনে ওকে এভাবে আসতে দিবে না unless he fought with them too in the backstage. But whatever happened, I remember talking to you briefly when I was driving after the Champions League match, and I remember you said that এটা লকার রুমেই হয়েছে, টানেলে ওগুলো হইলে ক্যামেরা ভরে যেত. It was something very personal. It was something that would be very much contained by Manchester City team. Player definitely involved. Haaland, I don't know, এত বড় নাম এর করবে, but হ্যাঁ definitely কোন এক ধরনের সর আমার সামনে থেকে, এরকম টাইপের মুহূর্তেই এটা হয়ে যেতে পারে
না না
আমার কাছে মনে হয়।
সরো আমার সামনে থেকে, এটা না, এটা হচ্ছে মারামারি ফিস্ট ফাইটিং হয় নাই, এটা হচ্ছে যে হাতটা দিয়ে খামচা খামচি হয়েছে বা কলার ধরা হয়েছে বা চুল, পেপের তো চুল নাই, সো there's like either Pep জ্যাক গ্রিলিশের চুল ধরছে, then জ্যাক গ্রিলিশ, this is all press speculation by the way,
স্পেকুলেশন,
complete speculation, we don't know, maybe he harmed himself, who knows, but
আমরা হার্মলেস
the thing is
স্পেকুলেশন করতেছি ফর
আমরা
সামওয়ান হু গট হার্মড।
weird. We're doing harmless speculation of someone who got harmed. Basically, I think it's Jack Grealish. Haaland যদি ওকে touch করে, I don't think he will be able to stand in front of a press conference, with all due respect. So I don't think it was Haaland, maybe হইতে পারে, but I think it was more like Jack Grealish trying to um, get into a scuffle with him.
You want to mention about those charges that may be
Yeah, man,
simmering?
I think that the 115 charges that are looming with the FA, they have a date, I think in January or something like that, court date or whatever. I think that is playing in the back of the players' minds, and
About their future.
about their futures, the whole how the club will be punished if they're gonna go down, or is he gonna stick around? I think subconscious mind, I think that is playing a big part. And also I think another thing is that they became a little complacent because of Klopp leaving. They thought that Klopp is not there, so Liverpool is not gonna be a formidable force, but they didn't they nobody knows about Arne Slot up until now. Nobody knew about Arne Slot, how he is. He came from, I think, what, Feyenoord or PSG, I mean, from the Dutch league, let's say. So nobody knows about that.
But there was speculation in the English media that he might take Liverpool to new heights, that he has the potential to do that. And obviously, English media to, like rape করে ফেলে সবাইকে কথা দিয়ে। সো ওরকম ওরাও বলছে যে পারবে না, লিভারপুলের মতো ক্লাব কেউ পারবে না, ক্লাব যা করছে পারবে না। বাট look at what he has done. Like, speaking of Champions League, like we already spoke about Pep, but we have to talk about Liverpool too, right? I mean, Pepper জিনিসটা we'll find out more for sure. For example, that এই টাইপের জিনিস বাইর হয়ে যায় কোনো না কোনো ভাবে. So we will know. It's something that was very weird. It was very like what the fuck kind of a thing. But আমরা এটা দেখার পরে as Manchester United fans we're like, আরে তাই ওটা হইছে, তাই নাকি? I get it, but even as a যে ম্যানচেস্টার সিটি এত বেশি রুল করতেছে 4 বছর ধরে, প্রিমিয়ার লিগের অন্য ফ্যানরাও লাইক পেপরে দেখতে পারে না, লাইক আর কত ভাই, আর কত, এরকম টাইপের একটা জিনিস হয়ে গেছে। সো স্টিল ইটস ভেরি কিউরিয়াস আবার দ্য স্টেট অফ দ্য টিম, যেটা এমনকি 6 months আগেও লাইক ওকে হিয়ার উই গো অ্যাগেন, ওরা আসতেছে আবার টাইটেল জিততে। But ওই জিনিসটা within a couple of weeks, like these kind of to Man City was always known for coming back against any team in the world, almost. But এখন এটা হয়েছে against a team like কার সাথে ওরা, এটা ফায়ানোর সাথে যখন আমি তোমার সাথে কথা বলছিলাম, I think it was in the pod, and you said, oh, it's an easy win for Man City, right? And not just you, I'm sure a lot of people thought, but for them to be 3-0 up and 3-3 তে ব্যাক যাওয়া, লাইক এটা মানে ইটস এ কমিক্যাল থিং, এটা আনএক্সপেক্টেড ফ্রম এ ক্লাব লাইক ম্যানচেস্টার সিটি। Like, they didn't lose everybody. They just have Rodri injured, De Bruyne played few minutes, Bernardo Silva is still there. They have a good structure. I mean, ওদের এমন না যে left wing এর Doku Grealish played. Grealish is not in good touch, but I don't know what are the excuses. And locker room এ মানুষের মাথা গরম থাকতেই পারে, থাকতে পারে। হ্যাঁ, হাতাহাতি হয়েছে এটা আমরা বুঝতে পারি, বাট ম্যান সিটির এটা কি বলবো, ইটস terrible whatever is happening. লিভারপুলের ক্ষেত্রে যদি বলতে হয়, লিভারপুল is completely on the flip side, like they're just soaring high. I think I made a prediction 3 weeks ago where I said that they're well on their way to win Champions League and Premier League and maybe a treble this year. A lot of people saying that it's too early, but in terms of consistency, like অন্য ক্লাবরা, Bayern Munich may be the only one that's a little bit consistent, but Liverpool is way too consistent. Like, they're beating top flight teams, and their next week they're coming up with against Manchester City, which is a huge game in terms of Premier League is concerned. Like, it's gonna be a massive proportions. But যাই হোক, Liverpool, the way played against Real Madrid just were on authority, like they pura authoritatively খেলছে, such good chemistry, such good 1-2s, such good communication, such good shape, not being rattled, and the way they counter. I remember I was watching the game on a stream with Choto Boy of mine, Akash, and we both said the same thing. Like, they attack in packs. এক সাইড থেকে লুইস ডিয়াজ, এক সাইড থেকে কার্টিস জোন্স, there's Salah, Nunes. I have to mention Nunes. Like, this guy was so unfortunate. He was so good in that match. His shots
আচ্ছা,
were on target.
can I say something about Nunes?
Sure.
ও মাঝখানে একটা প্লে অ্যাক্টিং করছিল, remember?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
yeah, so here's the thing about Nunes, right? I don't like this about these type of players. You act tough, you want to fight on a football field or a soccer field, whatever way you say it, then fight. If I slap you or at a kochamari, then don't try to play act, right? You're tough, show it to me, and I will respect that part. But just don't try to con the referee or try to con everybody. So
He tried that,
Darwin
yeah.
Nunes, I don't like that. If you're tough, if you really think you have a boxing skills or fighting skills, show it, get a red card, be like Roy Keane, get the hell out.
ভালো
Then
বলছো. Yeah,
yeah,
that was so weird. Like, when he was obviously overconfidence is a thing that matters a lot in sport, and obviously ওর শট গুলো টার্গেটে আসার পর অনেকদিন পর এগেছে টিম লাইক রিয়াল মাদ্রিদ, আই এম শিওর ও শার্ট টার্ট খুলে ফেলতো ও যদি অ্যানফিল্ডে মাদ্রিদের সাথে গোল করতো। আই এম শিওর
জুডিটা খুলতো,
ঝুটি খুলতো না।
জুটি খুলতো না?
জুটি
বেনি রাখতো, বেনি খুলতো
না,
না।
তাহলে হাবিব, আমাদের সিঙ্গার হাবিব অনেক খুশি হইতো, তাহলে বেনি খুলে এলো এই টাইপের গান খুলতে পারতো, মিমসও বানানো যাইতো ভালোই। Anyways, but I think Nunes was having a great match. আর Courtois, I have to mention, ওই দুইটা গোল তো খাইয়ে যেত ও, যে গোল গুলো সেভ করছে at that age. Wow, like, I'm not as a Madrid fan, you have to give it to Courtois, নাহলে কিন্তু আরো তিনটা খায়
I
মাদ্রিদ।
think they could easily concede like 5-0
হইতে
হইতো।
পারতো, অবশ্যই হইতে পারতো।
Yeah,
মাদ্রিদ লিভারপুলের কথা তো বললামই। Salah did not have really a great game, and understandable, but Salah did steal pocket. He stole pocket of, I think,
Mendyকে hard time দিছে।
Mendyকে hard time this said. Mendy did not look good. I remember Akash also mentioned how Mendy is not there yet. Mendy and how Mbappe should be subbed. Mbappe is a big factor. Looking at
Then Fran Garcia actually tackled him pretty well.
He had a good
Not for the
game.
whole game.
Garcia had a good game.
আসার পরে হ্যাঁ,
Also,
left back.
Kamavinga আবারও injured. It was a bad sight. Like, or body balance, I don't think is up to the par. Yeah, I understand that Real Madrid অনেকগুলো players ছিল না, but ওই ডিটারমিনেশন, ওই বিলিফটা নাই। লাইক মদ্রিচকে স্টার্টিং লাইন আপে দেখে অনেক ভালো লাগছে, লাইক ওকে, লিড দ্য মিডফিল্ড, বি অথরিটেটিভ। এমবাপ্পে কামিং ব্যাক টু দ্য লেফট উইং ওয়াজ অলসো রিফ্রেশিং, লাইক, ও তুমি তোমার ফেভারিট পজিশনে যাচ্ছ, ভিনি নাই, দিস ইজ ইয়োর টাইম টু প্রুভ ইয়োরসেলফ। But
then he met Connor Bradley.
Connor Bradley was brought into the scene by Klopp from the academy. It was his fourth ever start in a Champions League match, and for him to play like that against so-called world's best, I'm telling you, Connor Bradley, my God, like, he had such a good game. He played with such confidence. He played almost like someone who has had tons of experience. Trent এগুলা করতে পারতো না।
কিছু প্লেয়ার আছে যাদেরকে আমি অ্যাডমায়ার করি, সো কনর ব্র্যাডলি is soon becoming into that, as a Manchester United fan it pains to say that, but I like that guy, man. Connor Bradley, he has something about him. You know, he's I think if they sell Trent next summer, or if Trent leaves for free, they have Connor Bradley, so I don't think they need to invest in the right back department.
Last season in FPL, when Trent was injured, Connor Bradley was the deputy, and Connor Bradley was heavily brought in for a budget defender, and he did good. Like, I think he had maybe an assist, but he did good for Liverpool.
So what is wrong with your beloved Real Madrid?
The belief and the determination isn't there. They try to play from the back. They look scared. Or their midfield structure tonight. They lose the ball. There's no ball retention. I know Madrid is known for quick passes, long passes. They're not known for tiki-taka, but Liverpool was doing crazy tiki-taka. That Alexis McAllister goal was a very much tiki-taka goal, and that finish was sublime. Like, আমি খেলা দেখার সময় বলতেছিলাম, I don't want McAllister to score, and that's what happened. He scored. And when Cody Gakpo was coming in, I'm like, inshallah khali goal দেয়, and he scored. So these were happening. Like, you might call me scientist, but কালকে আমার পুরা কালি জাবান, যেটা হিন্দিতে বলে কালো কালো জিব্বা, ওটা হইতেছিলাম, যেটা বলতেছিলাম ওটা হইতেছিল। তারপর আমার ওই আকাশও বলতেছিল, আমার ফ্রেন্ড আকাশও বলতেছিল যে, ভাই, এমবাপ্পে মনে হয় দিবে, একটা তো দিবে। আর এমবাপ্পে পেনাল্টি নেওয়ার সময় কমেন্টেটর ওয়াজ সেইং that he doesn't look confident, you know, and অ্যানফিল্ডের মতো জায়গায় এরকম এনভায়রনমেন্টে I get it, like nerves get to you, but it's Mbappe. It's Mbappe. Like he should score. He should definitely do it. And that penalty was so bad. And I have to mention, I'm sorry guys if I'm mentioning so much data, but Kelleher actually is this is his third penalty save in a matter of 14 days. He
Yes.
saved against Finland, he saved against Southampton, and he saved against Real Madrid. So the level up you see, it's Finland, Southampton, and Real Madrid. It's crazy. Kelleher, who thought Alisson? I don't think Alisson এতগুলো penalty save করতে পারতো. Alisson is not reputable for penalty saves, but for him to do that, it was crazy.
So, Moshla question. Kelleher keeps his place if Alisson comes back?
You should. I mean, he's doing so much for Liverpool. Keep him and play Alisson in the other matches. Like,
So you're telling me that Alisson is not going to go straight into the lineup when he comes back from injury?
আমি স্লট থাকলে আমি খেলাইতাম না। I'm like, ভাই তুমি EFL খেলো, ওই যে কি
Carabao Cup.
FA ওগুলা খেলো।
But
Kelleher is my
again,
guy.
then they have future plans because Mamadashvili or the Valencia goalkeeper, Georgian,
আচ্ছা,
he has been signed, so he's going to start next season as Liverpool's goalkeeper. So Liverpool,
oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, Marmadashvili, or how do you pronounce his name? I have no idea, but he's he's a big guy. I follow Valencia a lot. I don't know why I follow Valencia, but
That was me. That was going to be my next question.
Because Rafa Benitez actually won the league with Valencia back in the day.
Oh my God, you're right.
And then there was Santiago Canizares, the goalkeeper,
of course, legend.
and Valencia also had Juan Mata, David Silva, David Villa. These players came all from Valencia. So
Yes.
I was like,
David Villa also played for Atletico Madrid.
David Villa played for a lot of clubs.
I love him so much.
So I just to name a few, and then also Valencia has some nice players that some clubs might need or will benefit from having. So that's why I think I follow Valencia, and then the goalkeeper. He signed a contract. He's going to join next season in July 1st, I think, during 2025. So Liverpool's goalkeeper situation will be one to watch because I think either Kelleher will leave or Alisson's going to leave.
Alisson is inching close to not being at his prime, so it makes sense. Just very quickly about Madrid, Valverde played right back, and after the Camavinga injury, he moved to midfield, but he didn't really have an impact. But I must say that he did really good as a right back. Liverpool, each and every person played well. সবাই আমার কারো খারাপ ভালো নাই. They were very good as a unit, and this is what Madrid. You asked me what's wrong with Madrid as a unit. ওরা click করতেছে না. As a unit ওরা না, ওরা খুবই scared just because Militao নাই অথবা Rodrigo নাই, Vini নাই. They don't have that confidence. But Real Madrid is known that last season what happened? There were a lot of injuries, but players like Joselu, Brahim Diaz, they came through. Arda Güler had a good match. Arda Güler, আমার খুব প্রিয় একটা youngster. He played good. He gave his heart out. He completed passes. But the problem is, unfortunately, Mbappe. He doesn't like to pass. Vinny also doesn't like to pass. He only was able to complete maybe 3 dribbles in the entire match. He had the least successful dribbles in the entire match out of all the outfield players. It was absolutely terrible. And yeah, something has to change, starting with Mbappe.
So is it fair to say Mbappe খেলাটা পড়ে গেছে after the World Cup final against Argentina? He has not been the same player.
Right.
The guy that actually single-handedly won France the World Cup has not single-handedly done anything for club level like PSG or Real Madrid. PSG said the last season he was not that prolific. So I don't know, man. He played in his preferred position yesterday against Liverpool.
That's why there was so much hype.
There was so much hype, but I think what Real Madrid are missing is a Joselu or a Karim Benzema. They need a striker, an out-and-out striker.
Just January transfer window, and I was telling my friend as well, they need to invest. They need to invest on young, speedy, I don't know, strong center backs or like a right back, wing back, whatever you call it, and definitely a striker. Even a Hoyland will do the work for them. Someone like a Hoyland. I'm not joking. They
No,
need
Zirkzee.
someone like that. Like even like Ferguson from Brighton. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Look at that guy. He's tall. He's so young, and he has the strength and he can maneuver through the in the box so nicely. They need to get someone like that.
No, just get Zirkzee from Manchester United, Madrid. Pay us like 15 million pounds. That's good. We'll take that.
We'll take it.
But Real Madrid has never known for their best defense. Like they were always known for a team that if they concede, they will score more goals. So I think that's where the problem arises. They don't have the offensive
And we
players.
saw those 10 minutes right after they conceded or right after the penalty miss or whatever. We saw the 10 minutes of electricity where they had rhythm. They had rhythm.
Yeah.
But bhai, why wait all the time? Like, I don't know if it's a question for Ancelotti or the captain or what. Why wait for that electricity? Why don't you have that surge in the first half or the last 15 minutes of the first half? Like you have to wait until you get a goal. And then Madrid fan পপকর্ন খাইতে হবে প্রথম হাফ and the second half like ও গোল খাইছি মামা এখন খেলা হবে this is not how it should be এটা টায়ার্ড হয়ে গেছে honestly.
But that has always been the case, right?
Yeah,
Like even when Ronaldo, I mean, very rarely Ronaldo era, it was a little different, but
very different.
yeah, but it was always been the case with Madrid.
Ronaldo era was very different. Ronaldo era was he my emotional হয়ে যায় আমি কথা বলতে চাই না.
Uff, mohabbat, Madrid জন্য কি ভালোবাসা. So Madrid basically are in crisis, and Mbappe is a big factor in it. That's the whole summary. Let's a little bit talk about Liverpool, because I think as Manchester United fans, we should not be talking about Liverpool. Just kidding. We should be talking. We are unbiased as much as we can be. Everybody has their biases, but Liverpool. This is the biggest compliment I can give them, is that I like watching Liverpool play, even though whatever team they put out. Like McAllister জায়গায় যদি জোনসকে খেলায়, they still function the same way, and it's a compliment to Liverpool and Brighton to an extent. These two teams, they have a system in place, and I think the heavy metal football has been done with Liverpool, and that has helped the players conserve energy towards the end of the game. And I think he's going back to a possession-based pressing, and they press in pack. That's how you should press. If you want to learn how to press any team or any team needs to follow, just watch Liverpool. This Liverpool team. Forget the manager, forget the entire thing. Klopp did a great job of instilling this habit that this is how you press when you don't have the ball. And when you have the ball, keep the ball, pass it around.
It's
slow.
transitioning from the press to retaining the ball and getting into the attack. That's what Liverpool did so well, and they have been continuously doing that. And if you want to learn press, either watch this week's Liverpool or last week's Ipswich.
Yeah, that's correct. But watch list Liverpool. that's how a pressing should be. Even Luis Diaz knows how to press. Even Mohamed Salah pressed.
Yeah, he did so good.
And dispossessed Mbappe that led to almost the first goal, where Courtois saved, and then what the new kid, I forget it.
Oh my God, what a goal line clearance!
Goal line clearance, yeah. So just watch those clips. All right, so enough of Liverpool and Real Madrid. Let's move on to. We'll touch base a little bit on Sporting getting beaten by Arsenal 5-1 at home. No Gyökeres. This was Gyökeres' big chance of proving to the world that he can play in the Premier League. I guess he didn't answer those questions, so maybe he's not ready for the Premier League.
He went up against one of the best defenses in Premier League, so I'm giving him the benefit of doubt. But yeah, it does question if or capability kirokom. And Gabriel scored, Martinelli scored. So Gabriel did his celebration, which was obviously.
And he said that if you cannot come up with your own celebration, just copy mine. Great.
There was a Twitter একটা faction ছিল where people said that for someone who barely scores, you have no right to copy someone's celebration. তুমি যদি টানা স্কোর করে থাকো, একদিন তুমি রোনাল্ডো সেলিব্রেশন করো, একদিন মেসি, একদিন গিয়োকেরেস, ইট মেক্স সেন্স। বাট তুমি বছরে 4টা গোল দাও, এর মধ্যে তুমি ওই টিমের এগেনস্টে ওদের সেলিব্রেশন করতেছো, Like, you shouldn't do that. That's disrespectful.
So copy না করে নিজের celebration নিজে বানাও. That's what my 2 cents on this. So Arsenal looked very good. So FPL আমরা এটা নিয়ে কথা বলবো যে the players
Definitely.
to pick and whatever.
I'm gonna also mention two things that Cristiano Ronaldo used to have the highest number of assists in Champions League. This is Moshla, guys. Ekdom Goro Moshla. That there was a certain someone who broke his record for the most assists. So Ronaldo 41 ke beat kore at 42 is Angel Di Maria.
Oh, wow. A former clubmate.
Former clubmate. And at this age, still, he still got it. He's still so good. It's good for Argentina. It's good for every club that he's been to, except for Manchester United. But he's always good. And there's another someone I have to mention. Their naam amar khuste onek time lagse because I thought his name was Di Catale, but it's Charles de Ketelaere from Atalanta, who really took advantage of young boys in a good way. The police are not looking for him. He's not in any kind of rap sheet. Young boys were taken advantage of. So Haaland was supposed to take advantage of young boys last season. He wasn't able to. But this guy came up with 3 assists and 2 goals in a match that ended 6-1 in favor of Atalanta. This guy is from Belgium. He's only 23 years old. Sky's the limit. And watch out who Atalanta is playing next in the Champions League. They will be playing Real Madrid. So
he was sold by AC Milan to last season. He played for AC Milan. They didn't fancy him. Sold to Atalanta, and Atalanta is looking like a good team playing because they have some nice players. We can do another segment on Atalanta if they beat Real Madrid.
They're second in the league in Serie A.
They're second in the league. I like the guy Lookman.
Oh yeah.
He was in the English Premier League. I don't know why they sold him. I think he was with Leicester. Then yeah, Atalanta has some nice players. I like some of the players. Ederson, a Brazilian defensive mid. Manchester City are looking at him. So are Manchester United. He might be the Rodri replacement. Rumors coming around.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so Atalanta has some nice players. So
one of my favorite players is there, Cuadrado.
Cuadrado is there, but is he playing?
He's playing,
right?
yeah. He's playing.
But the regular now. He's not a regular
the full
starter.
match.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, dance Corsilo.
I have to see the highlights. As soon as I heard that he took advantage of young boys, I didn't want to see the video. But now, then when I saw it was football, I was like,
by the way, can we clarify that Young Boys is a team based out of Switzerland, isn't it? Right? It's not like Young Boys. The name of the club is Young Boys. We can have Moshla Boys or Old Boys Club, but Young Boys is the name of a team. So
and they
Fardan
make it
was
to
not.
the Champions League every year just to
They
get
also played. They tried to take advantage of Manchester United as well.
Oh, they did. Yes.
Yeah. So every kothate last Manchester United.
Sorry, guys.
The listeners and subscribers will get fed up of it. And now, are we done with Champions League?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Our PSG lost to Bayern Munich, so they might go out in the first round. So they're not going to make it into the.
Oh yeah, this was.
So we will do sometime in the future. We cannot promise. We will do an explanation of how the new rules of Champions League works. You know,
it's
everybody's trying to figure it out.
20 minutes.
I think even Jamie Carragher and Micah and Thierry Henry are trying to figure out how the new format works, right? So
Barcelona took advantage of Brest this week.
They did? The team,
yes, of course.
What did you think? There is also a club named Brest.
Yes, among Young Boys and Brest play in the same Champions League. But Young Boys did not play with Brest yet. They're not old enough to play with.
Will they play with Brest?
No, I don't think they're that lucky.
They're daydreaming.
Yes. But yeah, if Brest did not have a good structure, Barcelona would have motorboated right through them.
This segment will make it to YouTube.
Listen, Barcelona, all they had to make sure when they went up against Brest, they just had to make sure they don't bite off more than they can chew.
Correct. So Lewandowski did what? He scored against the Brest.
He scored.
Okay.
Right through them.
right through them, and he is like the third highest Champions League goal scorer.
Oh yeah. Jokes
Yeah,
apart, yes.
jokes apart. No, we were pretty much serious. Brest is basically known as a team named Brest, Brest, in the French league, Ligue 1, League One.
League One.
So, and then if you guys want to go deep into the whole segment of why we did this, watch the CVS clip that is going on social media. So, watch that part. Even they just do this and they don't analyze. They fill up with ads and whatever. So, anyways, that's not our bone to pick yet, but one day we will. So Champions League is almost done. So now we come to the fantastic Moshla part.
FPL Gameweek13. We're recording on a Thursday. It's Thanksgiving. So yes, happy Thanksgiving to all Americans who are watching.
Who celebrate.
And the deadline is literally in about 24 hours from now when we're recording. And
Yes.
There were some deadline dilemmas. There was a lot of talk about how Champions League is going on. What are the minutes? How are the minutes going to be managed? Since McAllister, Luis Diaz, Salah, all these players had such high minutes, will they go up against Manchester City? It's the biggest fixture in a long time in the Premier League. But in terms of FPL, whenever two big teams play against each other, the odds are not in your favor. Anything could happen. If you have Haaland and Salah, you might as well play both of them. Both of them might get blank, or both of them might score. You don't know. Both teams are capable of scoring. Manchester City, since they scored in the Champions League match, we were expecting Haaland to be on the score sheet again in the Premier League finally, since he hasn't scored in the Premier League in like forever, right? For 3-4 weeks. But in terms of fixtures, the players to target should be from Arsenal or from Brighton. The reason I'm saying Arsenal is playing West Ham away, Arsenal is coming off of the very, very good fixture against Sporting. So Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli. These are the three names you should definitely consider if you go for a couple of weeks for Arsenal assets, because right after West Ham, in a couple of days, they're playing Manchester United in the Emirates and then Fulham and Everton. So all these fixtures scream Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli for me. In terms of clean sheet, if you have a Gabriel, who is the most popular defender in FPL from an Arsenal perspective, you should definitely hold on to him. David Raya also, if you want a very good route into clean sheets.
I have Okoli, best defender. He's gonna have a great game this week because our old boy Ruud van Nistelrooy is the manager of Leicester City. So those who don't know, Leicester City sacked or fired their manager, whatever the name was, Cooper, some Cooper, the former Nottingham Forest manager from last season. He got sacked last week. Then Ruud van Nistelrooy is in the process of becoming the Leicester City manager. Officially will be announced, I think. And if Ruud comes in, I see some players making a resurgence. It's going to be James Justin. It's going to be Jamie Vardy. It's going to be Okoli.
I'm doing my Steve Cooper impression for a long time.
I thought that you went blur for the internet
That's
went
how
out.
good my acting was. Anyways,
that was great. That was fully like Oscar winning acting.
Mavi Didi and Ndidi as well.
Mavi Didi and Ndidi and Buonanotte. So these are nice players.
Differential picks, guys. For FPL, if you're watching, these are differential picks. But from the Leicester perspective, they're playing Brentford, West Ham, Brighton. So these are all okay-ish fixtures because Brentford concedes, West Ham concedes. Maybe not Brighton for the next 2 weeks if you need a budget midfielder. So definitely Buonanotte is someone you can consider.
So we start with the defense and goalkeeper situation. I think Pickford and Pickford is still there. I think there's a certain called Onana. Onana, don't pick him. Onana, please pick him. So Onana.
So it's Man U versus Everton. It's Onana versus Pickford. Two highest scoring keepers in the game going against each other. I am a Pickford owner. I really wish I had Onana. But the only reason I don't have Onana is because starting game week 14, he has a very tricky bunch of fixtures. So I unfortunately have to stick to Pickford because my investment is going to go in the forward line and maybe in the midfield line. I'm really considering a -4 because I really want to attack the Southampton fixture, which is against Brighton. Brighton are playing at home. As a Welbeck owner, I'm very happy. Isak really disappointed me and Adil because we both brought in Isak without discussing it. He got Isak way before. I got Isak last second, but it was terrible. So we were both literally talking yesterday of how we should double up for Wolf Striker, Cunha and Strand Larson. I'm a Cunha owner, Adil is a Strand Larson owner. So Adil really wanted to buy in Cunha because Cunha has been doing so good for an FPL that okay, he'll do good against Bournemouth. But I went across the stats. Bournemouth has been uh, consistently conceding goals, but also winning. So they're hit or miss. However, against Southampton, Brighton statistically is supposed to do good. So what I want to do is sell Isak and buy Joao Pedro and have two strikers to attack Southampton and just blow them to smithereens. A man can dream, right?
So you're gonna have Cunha, Joao Pedro, and Welbeck?
And I'm gonna play all three of them.
Oh my God! It's gonna be what 125 points?
No, I mean, come on, don't jinx it.
Like last week highest was 125 points on FPL. So this week you should make it at least 126 points. You know. So you're attacking the double. So you're putting the double strikers in there,
Yes.
right? But you're not giving up points. You're not taking a negative. -4.
I want to take a -4. At the same time, I don't want to because -4. I made a commitment. I don't want to take -4 anymore. So
you should learn from me. I last season I took -4 left, right, center multiple times, and I was very consistent. I started last. I finished last. 100% record.
You know
100% consistency.
That's good. It's a good thing that you. I mean, it's a good thing that you.
This year I said that I'm not going to take any -4 points. But here's the thing. So after listening to you, তোমার কথা শোনার পরে, so এটা মনে হইতেছে. So how about this? I got fed up with my defense. So আমি কনসারে বাদ দিয়ে মাজারাউইরে নিছি।
Good.
আমি ভার্ডিওল আর লুইস আমার আছে, বাট ওদেরকে খেলাবো না। মেবি ভার্ডিওল খেলতে পারে। But then I have my Okoli, baba. Okoli আছে. So maybe it will be Aitnuri, Mazraoui, and Okoli. Take a sit.
Good.
I'm giving away my
has
team.
a good fixture against Bournemouth. He's a goal threat. Aitnuri is a good
and
pick.
then or maybe Okoli or Vardiol. থাকবে. All I need Vardiol to not concede and not concede না, concede করো, নিজের ভুলে না, and goal করো একটা. That's it. Our midfield. Now this is a hot topic. I really wanted Kulusevski, but I don't know because we don't. But at the time of recording, Tottenham has not played yet. So if Tottenham plays the full strength team, that might affect the Sunday selection of their team.
Yes,
against Fulham, right?
Europa or Europa Conference.
League, yeah.
Europa.
It's happening in a couple of hours now.
Yes. So yeah, guys, if you're considering Madison Kulusevski, Madison is one of the most transferred in players this week, which is stupid because he only had a good game last week against Manchester City, which was completely not in the cards. You should only consider Kulusevski and Madison if they don't have enough minutes today.
I will never consider Madison because he's never fit. I don't even know when he's fit. He's always injured. So this is a high risk.
You know,
that's my opinion.
Dilemma that I'm facing. But you're right. Madison is very inconsistent in terms of fitness. The dilemma that I'm facing is my midline. Should I bench, since I want to play 3 strikers, should I bench Rodgers or Palmer? So Rodgers is playing Chelsea away. Palmer is playing Aston Villa at home. Palmer has been very iffy, but Rodgers has been consistent. He even was played very good in the match against Juventus, although he didn't score a goal, but he had a good game.
Well, I think Rodgers, because Rodgers just signed a new contract. He's a little lackadaisical right now in terms of output. So Palmer he had the injury that Lisandro Martinez gave him, and he played through that. So I think he's coming to full fitness. So I think Chelsea, if you have Nicholas Jackson, my boy Action Jackson, and Palmer, you guys are set for up until I think game week 16. So the festive period. So midfield, I have my boy Ugarte, who's not going to start, I think, and I cannot get rid of him. I have to take a -4 hit, and then I'll lose points. So Bruno Fernandes, I know you guys have, right? There's a chatter about Bruno, Saka, Palmer.
Saka is someone I'm really missing. This the -4 that I was considering was actually bringing in Saka. Since he's
you have Mbumo too,
I have
right?
Mbumo and Palmer and Fernandes and Salah and Rogers.
This is the last week for me with Mbumo. After that, if he doesn't score, because whenever I take Mbumo, he stops scoring.
No, Leicester, he must score. I mean, everything is on paper. Is good. He had a 1 week's nice rest. No European fixture. So, should be a good game.
So now, coming to the striker portion, you already mentioned your strikers. Now, let's talk about mine. I have not gotten onto the Cunha hype train yet. And I don't think I'm going to get into that. The reason is that you make a valid point, Jay. This double up on the fixtures with the strikers, 2 strikers, right? So I was thinking about taking a -4 and bringing in Cunha and recovering the points by making him the captain, since I have Strand Larson. I don't think against Bournemouth, I don't know if that's gonna. I mean, on paper it looks like they either one gonna have an assist and one gonna score a goal. But I'm betting on my boy Danny Welbeck, Danny Boy, and the most informed player right now. One of the informed players.
But Cunha is also one of the most informed players, and his next
Cunha is the informed player.
But next,
right?
Look at the next fixtures. Like, why wouldn't you consider Cunha? It's Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester. So wouldn't you want him during the festive period? He might give you,
He might give me quite a lot of points, right?
Yeah.
And then João Pedro is also have some nice fixtures.
João Pedro, let me look at his fixtures really quickly. Well, after Southampton, he's playing Fulham, Leicester, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Brentford. So yeah,
Brighton and Wolves have some nice fixtures.
Yeah, so if you have a forward line without Haaland, like me, and do you have Haaland?
I don't have Haaland. Who's Haaland? Who's that? Holland? Holland, I guess.
Stay humble,
Stay humble. No, I don't need to stay humble, but I don't have Haaland, I guess.
So yeah, you can have.
Saka made a joke about that too.
He did?
Yeah, he did on the press conference yesterday. Stay humble, ain't it? Or something like that. All right.
Yeah, forward line, Wolves and Brighton.
No, Jackson was the Nicholas Jackson ke kyun now, please, somebody.
I'm probably gonna get him next week, not this week.
So I mean -4 ni muna chinta hoyche. No, I might stick with Isaac. My boy disappointed way too much last week, but I might give him a chance against Crystal Palace. I have to also mention that differentially, I think Ismailia Sarr from Crystal Palace, he might be a good option, good pick.
Ismaila Sarr
he might score.
Yep, he had a good game.
Yeah, he might score some goals. Yeah. So, do you want to do the predictions, or are we doing the predictions for game week 13?
Should we do it or no?
Of course. I mean, come on. You know, I got most of them right last week.
You did. You did.
Let's do it. But before that, you want to talk about the captains?
Yes, for captaincy, Salah is going against Man City, so I don't think we can do it. I don't think I think Salah is doable like that. For example, I will be going with either João Pedro or Welbeck, which I have not decided.
Oh, if you don't, you're not taking a -4 a weekend.
No,
right?
I might do a last minute Saka.
Ooh.
But I don't know who to sell.
So তাহলে তো তুমি সাকাকে ক্যাপ্টেন বানাই দিবা।
Right. Sorry. Thank you for the
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, I'm really thinking of selling Palmer for that, but I don't want to sell Palmer because Palmer's next match is against Southampton. But Mbumo looks like I have to sacrifice him.
Sacrifice Mbumo, bring in
Bring in
Saka.
Saka
Minus,
and captain him, and that way I can get
yes.
most of the points. And then I have the triple strikers in there. So I'm really greedy. This week I'm very greedy.
126 points.
If I can, Alhamdulillah, if I can.
So তুমি তো আমাদের মিনি লিগে almost 900 points চলে যাবো, 1000 points
No,
চলে
no,
যাবো।
it's not easy because my defense is terrible. It's Robinson, Milenkovic, Pickford. Robinson is playing against
আচ্ছা,
Spurs. Spurs is going to demolish Fulham. Milenkovic, Nottingham Forest is off form, so Ipswich might, ওগুলো হয়ে যেতে পারে। ওই স্মডেক্স, তারপর কি জানি, ডিল্যাপ, ওরা মেবি
দিলাম।
শেষ করে দিতে পারে। সো পিকফোর্ড ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেডের সাথে ক্লিন শিট রাখলে আমার এফপিএল এর জন্য ভালো, বাট ইউনাইটেডের জন্য ভালো না আর কি।
This is where the lines get blurred. If you're really into like a gambling kind of a thing, we don't encourage that. But in FPL, and then you're a supporter of your team, this is where the supporting question, like lines get very blurred. I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans cheering for Bruno Fernandes, my captain, oh my captain. But then they had to clarify that, oh, this is because for FPL. Bruno needs to score. Bruno needs to score. Oh, he scored. Yay, great job. So this is where
Who's gonna be your captain?
Whoever I bring in, if I take a -4. If I don't take a -4, I will stick with Salah.
For me, it's Saka or Joao Pedro.
For me, it's Salah, or either if I bring in Cunha.
Oh, nice.
Then Cunha will be the one. Maybe I'll give Strand Larson the captaincy. Who knows?
Please.
Yeah? If I don't take a hit, if I don't do -4, I love to play around with my captain. So just make Strand Larson the
Differential
captain.
captaincy is something that helped me last season, so you never know.
Yeah, so Strand Larson will keep me stranding, but he can also give me an assist. So that's that. But let's go with the predictions. So we start off this Friday, November 29th. This is a good thing. I want to start early. If I have Brighton players, I will love to see this. Brighton versus Southampton.
That's the first game.
Easy. That's the first game. Easy stuff.
Brighton win. Do you want to do a bonus point?
Yeah, bonus point. Joao Pedro and Danny Welbeck both scores.
Both score? Okay. For me, is Joao Pedro scores only, not Welbeck.
No, Danny Boy. Danny Boy needs to play. And by the way, we are digressing a little bit, but Danny Welbeck was part of Manchester United transfer consideration shortlist under Eric Ten Hag, and the board said no. I think Danny Welbeck would have been perfect for Manchester United for a couple of seasons. Yeah.
Fucking Hag. Sorry, I mean, okay, দেখতে পারি না আমি. Anyways, my bonus is going to be Joao Pedro and Mitoma will be on the score sheet.
Dibbling with an assist from Southampton.
Okay. Wow, you really want your bonus points.
I want my boy Dibbling. I want to see Dibbling dribbling. I love that guy. Brentford versus Leicester. This is I think. All right, here's the thing. I think this is going to be a draw because Leicester might get a rude awakening. New manager bounce. Not bounce, but new manager rudeness. So they're gonna shut out Brentford or they're gonna draw. I think Jamie Vardy is gonna score.
Okay, so your prediction is
Brentford is Mbumo has to score. So Mbumo and it's a 1-1.
So 1-1 draw. Mbumo on the score sheet and Vardy on the score sheet.
And don't forget Wissa.
Guys, also we forgot to mention Wissa as a differential pick this week. He's a differential striker. Only reason we are not talking about him is because he has a tough run of fixtures starting 3rd December, game week 14. For me, I see it as a Brentford win. And no bonus. I'm not going for anything.
Oh, you're not going for bonus. That's a tigas.
What's next?
Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Crystal Palace at home, Newcastle away.
Okay, this has the potential to be a draw. No bonus point. I'm just calling it a draw.
2-1 to Newcastle. Isaac scores. Ismaila Sarr scores. Crystal Palace. And Henderson will be my goalkeeper. So I would love to have Henderson make some saves, but he will concede regardless. So
you have Isak also.
I might not have Isak
right,
for
sorry,
this. I might not, but I have Isak. I might give him the chance this week. Then your beloved team, Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich.
Okay,
Nottingham Forest at home.
This is a very weird kind of a matchup, but I feel like Ipswich, the way they're so confident after that performance with Manchester United, they'll be coming out guns blazing, and it's gonna be a very competitive match. So it's very hard to predict this. I'm gonna call it a draw.
Ipswich will win.
Okay,
They're
wow,
up on the score sheet.
it's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, Aina will look at Aina or Aina. I don't know. He's gonna keep looking at the Aina, but he's a good pick.
Aina on the wall. Who's the
better defender
of
amongst them all?
nice.
Wolves versus Bournemouth. Wolves at home.
Oh, I see it as a Wolves win.
Yeah, Konya and Strand Larson scoring. It's a Wolves win because Bournemouth doesn't have Semenyo because he is suspended with a yellow card.
Yes, so that gives Wolves an edge, and
Yes.
Konya on the score sheet. Strand Larson with an assist. That's
both on the score. Both on the score sheet.
My bonus point this week. Konya.
Wolves, baby, Wolves. Oh, then we have this Arsenal versus West Ham.
Arsenal win.
Your favorite player, Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen.
Arsenal's gonna win. Saka assist and maybe scoring, or Havertz might score. Who knows? Anyways,
I see it as Saka Saka having a great game, and Odegaard at least coming in with a goal. That's my bonus.
Then we go to Sunday, December 1st. Chelsea at home to Aston Villa.
I see it as a Chelsea win.
Nicholas Jackson scoring. Chelsea win. Yes. I see it as that too. Then we have our game of the week: Manchester United versus Everton.
Our game of the week.
Hey, Manchester United game is always the game of the week. Come on, man. Ora jodi 7-0 hare, it's still game of the week. Either you can talk bad or you can talk good. There's no in between. কোনো মানে ওদের ক্ষেত্রে সবসময় মশলা আছে, অপোজিট ওয়েতে অর রাইট ওয়েতে। এবার বোঝা যাবে তোমার পিকফোর্ডের কত কত মানে তেল, ঠিক আছে? কত মানে আমি তো ইউটিউবে তো সবকিছু বলা যায় না, বাট হ্যাঁ কত তোমার তোমার পিকফোর্ড, it amazes me how Pickford is still the
number 1 for England.
Number 1. হ্যাঁ, কোনো ক্লিন শিটের ব্যাপার নাই। সো এবার দেখা যাবে। And I think Manchester United
is number 1 actually. Pickford is number 2 in the FPL rankings.
Oh, so goalkeeper versus goalkeeper?
Keeper versus keeper, yeah.
Keeper versus keeper?
I see it as, unfortunately, I see it as a 0-0 draw.
No, it's not going to be a 0-0 draw. It's going to be Manchester United win. Old Trafford will do what the Anfield did to Real Madrid. Old Trafford going to be buzzing. It's going to be Manchester United victory. I don't know by how much, but it's going to be definitely the team will not be, Johnny Evans will not feature, Casemiro will not feature like that in the starting lineup. So it's going to be Kobe Mainu, Ogarde might start.
I'm dreaming already.
Because the center of the midfield will have, the center of Manchester United midfield and defense will have pace and athleticism. So and Mazraoui ase, Dalo ase, so I don't think this is going to be a draw. Manchester United winning probably 2-0.
Okay, bonus is 2-0.
And I can see Højlund scoring.
Wow, very brave. I'll add all that to the Excel sheet. And for me,
and it might backfire completely.
For me, it's draw, and my bonus is 0-0.
If you guys want to know how good Højlund can be, just play with him in FIFA or the
25.
25.
EFC 25.
EFC 25. Just play with.
I didn't know you play, Adil.
Oh, I play since 1998. FIFA 98 to.
I also played since FIFA 98.
Yeah, FIFA 98 থেকে সব version খেলা হয়েছে.
Nice.
So EFC 25 Højlund, yeah, the way Højlund is, this is what Højlund can be if he gets the proper training and service and if he works hard. Then we have Spurs at home to Fulham.
Spurs win.
Yeah, Son's gonna score.
I see it as What is my bonus? Kulusevski scoring.
Kulusevski with an assist, maybe. Sun score. Fulham is done. Too early to say, but Fulham will.
You said it
No,
with
they're
such
gonna get.
conviction.
Yeah, Fulham is done. Okay, so the next fixtures will look koshtokor, tough. So Spurs gonna win, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Liverpool versus Manchester
my
City,
God.
baby.
Liverpool
Yes.
win.
Hmm?
Liverpool win, and Salah scoring.
This is gonna be Takla versus Takla. So you think Salah's gonna? Okay, Salah scoring, Liverpool winning.
Salah always comes through in the big matches in Premier League.
So what's the score gonna be?
1-0.
No, I think it's gonna be 2-0, 2-1. No, Haaland's gonna score. So here's
Haaland
the thing:
cannot score.
Haaland's gonna score. Haaland's gonna bully Van Dijk.
That's my
I'm telling you that.
bonus. Salah scoring, Haaland not scoring.
No, Haaland's gonna score. Salah will have an assist or scoring. And I think Liverpool will win probably 2-1. So
Very, very brave. Very brave of you.
that is a roundup of game week 13. Not the roundup, sorry.
This was
This is
the preview and predictions. We covered Champions League. We covered FPL assets you should look into, possible transfers, captaincy, and our predictions, our humble predictions for this action-packed festive season, starting with Game Week 13.
Correct. So all the Manchester United fans and non-Manchester United haters, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys liked it today, please let us know in the comments. So you guys that are watching it, not commenting, just make the comments. Make us feel like shit.
Interact with us.
Excuse the
Give us your feedback.
language.
What you thought we shouldn't have said. What we forgot to mention. What was bold of us to mention. Were our jokes too cringy today? We spoke a lot about the human anatomy and about taking advantages. So please make sure you let us know.
And also make sure that you guys, all the Liverpool fans, chime in because we spoke about Liverpool. You know?
Please, yes.
Yeah. And if you guys can share it with Jamie Carragher, please do so. I would like to have him in the pod.
For sure.
And,
For sure.
And we'll
have him in the pod.
try to understand. I'll try to understand his accent. So
want to listen to him, mate?
I don't think that's the way. It's more like the British accent. He has a Scouser accent or something like that.
We can do an entire pod on just his accent.
Yeah. So Jamie Carragher, if you are watching or listening, feel free to come on the podcast because your analysis on CBS Sports sucks. All right? Blatant sucks.
Also, the predictions are so bad. Remember last season?
Yeah. You're all about Liverpool, bro? Here's the thing. Liverpool was not even in the Champions League last season. They missed one. Manchester United are missing this season. We'll see what happens next season. Yep. So be a little analytical and a little unbiased, okay? Be practical, yes. So, Jamie Carragher, happy Thanksgiving. All right.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
Take care.